Hey everybody, welcome back to the ST 3D video. Like always, I'm VJ. So lately, as you know, I've been on like this little quest to find the perfect PLA at the right price. I've been through so many already. I've reviewed 2 or 3 so far. I have so many sitting that I gotta get to. But today we're going to be talking about the TIANSE. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. It's TIANSE or TIANSE professional printer filament. So this one right here was recommended to me by somebody in my group like earlier, and this one right here, if you notice, it actually says high purity, continuous line, no clogging. But like I've said it before, never trust what's on the box. Always go by what your prints look like. So let's go ahead and get started and to see if TIANSE or TIANSE 3D filament is correct as far as their labeling. Is it really high purity? Is it really non-clogging? And is there a continuous line that goes through? So let's find out. So this is what the filament looks like on the inside. It comes with a little cool design, little spool right there. As you can see, the label is right on the front, white, temperature 190 to 210. One thing is pretty surprising, not a lot of filaments put the base plate temperature on there. On this one you can do about 30 to 50. So I normally do 65. So I'm assuming I shouldn't do that. So I'll try according to what this says, and then I'll do it my way, and then I'll see what's going on. But as far as the white, it seems pretty vibrant. Has some good color to it. One thing I did read about these PLA is their colors tend to be really good. Again, packaging on both really well. Labels are right in the front. The black is just black PLA. So let's go ahead and get started printing with these guys, and this way I can go in more in depth on how this filament performs. So after a few prints, this was my final result right here. This actually came out pretty darn good. I think not bad for 0.2 layer height. It's pretty badass. So this is one of the pieces here. As you can see, I didn't have any issues with this one here. And the other piece to it, which I'm really happy about, is this one right here. So this one, if you notice the details on it, it's amazing. It really came out pretty good. As you can see, the prints are not bad at all. Now stuff like this was because of supports that I had to remove, so that was actually me scratching it up. But besides that, I think it came out pretty good. So that's the other piece that I printed. And also this one is my favorite one. If you notice the lines right here, it's pretty straight, and they came out pretty sharp as well. So that's actually pretty darn good. So I got that piece, and of course I printed a little trigger, which is right here. Goes at the bottom. So here are the things I printed in the white PLA. I had to turn the light down a little, guys, because it was actually reflecting off the white. So you can see here, I had a few issues here with the zitting, but that was due to high temperatures that I did in the beginning. This was a separate print from the black PLA that I used, so that's why I was still new with this one, testing it out. But as you can notice, everything is pretty good. It's not that bad. This one is probably my favorite piece, because once I've dialed everything in, now these were just supports, so ignore that. But if you look at it, this thing is pretty smooth. I don't know if you can tell or not, but this thing came out amazing. And again, this is all printed at 0.2, so not bad at all. So I really like it. I like the way it turned out, and I like the way this filament worked out for me, given that this was only my second print. So what was my first print? My very first print was the infamous Marvin. I always like to print these because it has a circular figure to it, and I like to see how the PLA reacts to it and how well it bonds together. Again, being the very first one, I had some heat issues there, but besides that, I mean, this thing printed very well. Very, very well, actually. So besides a little zinning here because of the heat, the feet, I mean, that came out basically smooth, as you can see here. There's no issue with it at whatsoever. So this was my very first print that I did with this PLA, and my second print, which I also feel came out pretty good, is the Cade statue or figure, whatever you want to call it. The base itself, not too bad. Again, I did have some heat issue in the beginning, but after that, if you notice, from the boots on up, I kept adjusting the heat as I went, and I feel like it came out pretty good. Of course, there's a few support issues that I gotta still remove that are still on there. The only thing I didn't like about it is the thumb. I don't know if you can see it. It didn't come out as well as I expected, but besides that, it's not bad. I mean, even the details came out pretty good. If you look at the gun, for being as small it is, and now keep in mind again, 0.2, that's what I printed it at. And so overall, probably give it a 9 out of 10, especially since this was my second print and I was just experimenting with it. So I really do like it. So in conclusion, guys, for the price that you pay for the filament and the quality that it prints, it's not bad at all. The colors are pretty good. The white's very white, bright white. The black is black. The good thing I did like about it is there's no issues with it whatsoever in the sense as far as strength. This was printed at 3%, and I can barely crack it. So 3% infill, that's not bad. This one was printed at 4% infill. This one I actually did 15 on it. But the parts that I did print, it actually does move once it's connected to the piece again. So not too bad. My recommendations, if you haven't tried this filament out yet, I would recommend that you give it a shot, especially if you're budget friendly as I was doing these tests. So well, I hope this video was helpful, guys, and like always, if you have any questions, comments, leave it down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Also, if you want to see new content on this channel, go ahead and subscribe. And like always, remember, good luck and happy printing.